Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel. I hope everyone is having a great morning so far. I definitely am, and I hope everyone who is watching this video is also having a good morning so far as well. Now, usually I don't do these videos around this time, but this story is just way too big to be like reported as sideline news. And there's been a good amount of news this week, okay? But like this may be the biggest one of them all. Okay? This it's it's it honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, it kind of puts a smile on my face because you know what? WWE is finally getting what they fucking deserve. Okay? So, in case you haven't heard, Sasha Banks and Naomi, the current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, walked out of WWE after some creative differences or a little more that meets the eye. But we'll talk about it. But Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of WWE after they were frustrated with Vince McMahon and WWE creative. Holy shit. Holy shit. Let's talk about it. So we got a good amount of news here. So I'm gonna read the news and then I'm gonna talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna give my own personal thoughts on it. So let's talk about it. So first, the source that started it all, Mike Johnson, a PW insider, said this during Monday Night Raw actually. Raw main event change. Actually, I believe it was before Raw. It was either before or during Raw. But Raw main event changed after Talons walked out of taping. The main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw broadcast changed at the last minute to Becky Lynch versus Asuka after two talents walked out late in the day as Raw went on the air in Norfolk, Virginia. The word making arounds backstage at the tapings is that Sasha Banks took issue with some of the planned creative from the original main event, a Raw six-pack challenge to determine Bianca Belair's next challenger at Hell in a Cell. Banks had a meeting with Vince McMahon, as the belief amongst those we have heard from is that Vince McMahon didn't choose to change direction on the plans. Banks wouldn't back down on her issues and made the decision to leave the taping. Naomi Naomi, her WWE Women's Tag Team Championship partner, left with Banks, even though she was also booked in the main event match. WWE quickly shot several new segments with Adam Pearce and Becky Lynch to instead set up Asuka versus Lynch as the new main event, which honestly should have been the main event from the get go, but okay. So this is a developing story, so there may be additional updates. And additional updates we got indeed. Okay. So now we go to WrestlingInc.com. They're basically going to talk about all the news that is coming from Fightful Select. Okay. Now I didn't put all the links in the description, but I will immediately do that after this video is over. So I will put the links of these articles that I'm reading down in the description below. Okay, after this video. But I'm reading this now from WrestlingInc.com. This is the update. Backstage news on Sasha Banks and Naomi's issues with WWE's creative. Sasha Banks and Naomi's issues with WWE creative were largely based around the direction of their tag team and the women's tag team division as a whole, according to Fightful Select. A report noted that Banks and Naomi were angling to work with Nikki Ash and Doudrop at the upcoming Hell in a Cell. but those pitches were shot down. There was also a pitch to have Nikki and Doudrop interfere in the planned Naomi versus Bianca Belair match at Hell in a Cell, which was also turned down. As noted in earlier reports, WWE Creative wanted Naomi and Banks to challenge Belair and Ronda Rousey for the Raw and SmackDown women's titles, respectively, at Hell in a Cell. This is why Naomi was slated to win the planned six-pack challenge to determine the number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship. When Naomi and Sasha walking out of Raw, WWE was forced to have Asuka beat Becky Lynch in a singles match. WWE later announced that Asuka versus Belair will take place at the next WWE Premium Live event. It was also noted by Fightful Select that Banks and Naomi, who were both part of the planned six-pack challenge on Raw, were not to interact physically during the match. The working plan was for Naomi to pin Nikki ASH, not Naomi pinning Sasha Banks, as previously speculated. Those close to the situation noted that Naomi and Banks didn't claim that they didn't want to work with unsaved Lynch or Asuka, though it was implied by WWE's statement. Instead of Banks and Naomi were just focused on improving their women's tag team division. So, and I'll read the WWE statement in a sec. The report further noted that talent themselves haven't heard that Sasha and Naomi consider anyone unsafe until WWE's statement was released. WWE talent also received the statement in their internal talent relations app. You can click here for the original report on Sasha Banks voicing her displeasures in a meeting with WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. I already read that. Meanwhile, WrestleVotes is reporting that WWE's statement regarding the Sasha Banks Naomi walkout is just the baseline of the details. It was noted that the tension leading up to the walkout was palpable that day, with both wrestlers upset at something that transpires. Stay tuned for updates on the developing story. And let's read WWE's statement on Sasha Banks and Naomi that they actually put on their own official page. So here's what WWE's statement had to say. When Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they were informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE's head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis' office with their suitcases in hands, placed their tag team championship belt on his desk, and walked out. They claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, and even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed to be uncomfortable in the ring with two of their opponents, even though they had matches with those individuals in the past with no consequence. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show whose characters are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret to unable to deliver as advertised to tonight's main events. Oh my God, where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? Oh my God. Like right off the bat, I'm going to say this. WWE is getting what they fucking deserved. WWE is getting what they fucking deserved. I don't blame Sasha Banks and Naomi for walking out of WWE. Okay? So, right off the bat, let's talk about the fact that apparently Naomi was supposed to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title at Hell in a Cell, while Sasha Banks was supposed to face Ronda Rousey at Hell in a Cell, respectively. Okay, I kind of don't mind that, but here's the thing. Sasha Banks and Naomi are both women's tag team champions. And I don't see either I don't see Sasha Banks or Naomi winning the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles. So you're basically booking them to lose. Okay, which makes the women's tag team titles even more pointless. Honestly, what the fuck is the point of having women's tag team titles? Honestly, can somebody tell me what the fuck is the point of having women's tag team titles if you're not going to do anything with them? If you're not going to treat them as important, why fucking have them? Okay, WWE should have got rid of them a long time ago. Okay, because WWE already made those titles pointless. So I don't even know why they still exist. Okay, I would laugh so fucking hard if WWE loses Sasha Banks and Naomi over these women's tag team titles that are pointless for a while now. Pointless for a while now. Okay. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I don't know if this is the case, but I'm 99% sure that this is the case. Right? So originally at WrestleMania, Sasha Banks was supposed to face Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I think that Naomi was supposed to face Sonya Deville at WrestleMania. But of course, they changed things up because Sasha Banks wasn't fucking Ronda Rousey. So instead, they scrapped all those plans and instead put Sasha Banks and Naomi in the women's tag team division match for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So they're already biting the bullet there. Okay. And then they went through with it. They became women's tag team champions. They somehow made it work. Okay. And now you're going to have them lose separately at Hell in a Cell, making the championships even more pointless than they already are. It's like, what is the fucking point of giving them the women's tag team titles if you're not going to do anything with them? I completely understand Sasha Banks and Naomi's frustration. I completely understand their frustration in a creative aspect because it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay? Again, karma is coming back to bite Vince McMahon in the fucking ass. This is what he gets for being fucking lazy. This is what he gets for doing bad booking every single fucking week. No sympathy. As a matter of fact, I laugh. I laugh at Vince McMahon's face. Just like my boy Eddie Kingston said, you reap what you sow, partner. You reap what you sow. Okay? But we're not even done yet. Okay? So the next thing I want to talk about is it's the WWE statement and the specific part where Sasha Banks and Naomi were uncomfortable in the ring. Okay, right off the bat, that is bullshit. WWE and Fightful even confirmed that that is bullshit. Okay, but even before Fightful came out with the news, I can already tell that this is bullshit. Okay, because Sasha Banks and Naomi, okay, literally worked with Becky Lynch, Asuka, Nikki Cross, and Piper Niven. They worked with these ladies before, okay, multiple times even. And they're supposedly uncomfortable with working with these ladies now? Guys, WWE is literally lying to your fucking faces. Okay, saying that they were uncomfortable in the ring with two of the opponents, even though they had matches with those. They even said they had those. They even said that they had matches with those individuals with the past with no consequence. So why wouldn't it be the same thing now? WWE is so fucking stupid. WWE is run by a bunch of fucking morons that they're even calling themselves out on their line. They're inadvertently calling themselves out on their line. Oh my god, that is fucking hilarious. If this doesn't prove that WWE is run by a bunch of fucking morons, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, man. Oh my god. Unbelievable. Uncomfortable. Yeah, even before the Fightful news came out, I knew that was bullshit. That was just straight up bullshit. And Fightful even confirmed that that part of the statement is bullshit. Okay? So, yeah. So they're basically fucking lying to your face. But I want to talk about this statement in general, right? Because and you know what's also funny? You know what's also funny? So apparently, during Monday Night Raw, Corey Graves said that Sasha Banks on live television, that Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of the arena. Okay, they walked out of the arena and they are completely unprofessional and stuff like that. And I know it's not Corey Graves saying this. You know Vince McMahon is telling Corey Graves to say this shit, and Corey's just doing his job. But oh my god, this WWE has literally no one to blame but themselves. But let's go back to the statement. Let's go back to the statement. I do find it weird that WWE posted an official statement on Sasha Banks and Naomi. Because here's the thing. Brock Lesnar threw a championship at Vince McMahon's face. Okay? Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair had temper tantrums on national TV. CM Punk, Pac, Mustafa Ali, Tony Storm, Jeff Hardy, etc. all walked out of WWE. They all walked out on them unceremoniously. Okay? But there was no statements saying that they walked out, or if there was a statement, it was minimal. Okay? But when Sasha Banks and Naomi walks out, there's like this entire like big statement. Okay? There's like this big statement, and Vince McMahon has the nerve to say on national television that Sasha Banks and Naomi were completely unprofessional. That's CM Punk. CM Punk, Pac, Tony Storm, Jeff Hardy, Mustafa all did the exact same thing. All did the exact same thing. But when Sasha Banks and Naomi do the exact same thing, they're considered as unprofessional. Not a good look for you, Vince. Not a good look for you. Okay? And this fucking agenda saying that they were unprofessional. They left before Raw even started. Okay? I think that's pretty professional enough. Brock Lesnar threw a title at your face. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch had temper tantrums on national TV. Sasha Banks and Naomi did the professional thing. They let the titles down and they left. They left before Raw even started. I think that's professional enough. Okay? It's better than throwing fucking temper tantrums on national television. Okay? I'm fucking happy they left. And all in this agenda saying that they're unprofessional, because it's not just WWE saying this. It's a bunch of dick riding e-drones saying this shit as well. Okay? It just goes to show that these certain e-drones are sucking the dick, okay, of Vince McMahon. Okay? But I'm fucking smart enough to not do that. I won't kiss the ass of anybody. Okay? I won't even kiss the ass of Tony Khan. Yes, I love Tony Khan. Yes, I love AEW. Okay? But when there's something that needs to be criticized by them, then they will be criticized by me. Okay, because at the end of the day, I don't kiss the ass of anybody. Okay, I think just recently I did a little rant on the TNT title picture, which is a fucking mess right now. I will argue that Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara is probably the worst. It's the worst AEW rivalry right now in AEW. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Okay, the TNT title picture is a fucking mess. Okay, but I'm sure that after Double or Nothing, Tony Khan will more than likely fix it. At least I hope. But you know what? I have I have more faith in Tony Khan than in Vince McMahon because Tony Khan actually listens to the fans. He actually listens to criticism and literally fixes them or tries to fix them to make his show better. Vince McMahon never does that. Why? Because he is fucking lazy. He is a greedy, lazy moron who is out of touch. Okay? He's out of touch, bro. He's out of touch. Okay? Like, I don't know what to say. Like, some people, like, some Edros, like, are saying, no, that's bullshit. Vince is a genius. Vince is a genius. No, he ain't. Sorry to break your little hearts. Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sorry. Vince McMahon is out of touch and is literally killing his own company. He's literally killing his own company. Okay? And Vince McMahon has no one to blame but himself. Okay? And like when I saw this official statement, I knew something felt weird because they never did something like this before. But then it was announced by WrestleVotes. WrestleVotes, which is another reliable source in the IWC, reporting that WWE's statement regarding the Sasha Banks Naomi walked out is just the baseline of the details. It was noted that the tension was leading up to the walkout was palpable that day, which both wrestlers upset at something that transpired, which means that there's more than meets the eye with this story. There's more than meets the eye, which means that WWE made this statement up to like try to get ahead of things so that way the truth so that way people would believe in their side more than the actual side of the story. Yeah, WWE failed miserably on that part because nobody is going to fucking believe WWE. Well, again, possibly the E drones, but that's about it. My God, man. My God. WWE is getting what they fucking deserve, and I am so fucking happy. So fucking happy. And you know what's another interesting thing? Naomi is married to Jimmy Uso. She's married to Jimmy Uso, which is the cousin of Roman Reigns. So if Naomi is upset, then Jimmy Uso is going to be upset. And if Jimmy Uso is upset, then Roman Reigns is going to be upset. Okay? And Roman Reigns is literally the biggest star that you have right now. And his one foot is already out the door for Roman in WWE. Okay? Because he's about to be a part-timer soon. He's not about to wrestle full time anymore. He has one foot already out the door. Okay? So if Roman and Jimmy Uso see that Naomi is like pissed off at WWE, then Jimmy Uso is going to be pissed, then Roman Reigns is going to be pissed, and then The Rock, who is family to Roman and the Usos, he's going to be pissed. Okay? So there's this domino effect Okay, this is a much bigger story than it seems. Okay, that's why it deserves its own video. Because, again, this story has much bigger implication as it seems. Again, Naomi is married to Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso is connected to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is connected to The Rock. If Naomi is mad at WWE, then Jimmy's going to be mad. Then Roman's going to be mad. Then The Rock's going to be mad. And WWE would be fucking screwed because the Anoa'i family is the last family you want to piss off. Considering that WWE built their company around the Anoa'i family for the last couple years. So if you piss them off, you are screwed. You are screwed because you haven't built up anybody else. Okay? Everything WWE has built their company upon, they built it around the Anoa'i family. Okay? They built nobody else. Okay? Maybe, like, I guess you could argue Drew McIntyre and maybe Cody Rhodes, but that's basically about it. That's basically about it. Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, who else? Seth Rollins? I don't know. Like, that's a bit iffy. Edge, definitely not. AJ Styles, definitely not. Finn Balor, oh, definitely not. WWE apparently hates Finn Balor's fucking guts. Okay. Damian Priest, that ship sailed. Okay. Literally, all they have is Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. That's it. After those matches happen, what the fuck do you do next? They don't know because WWE is run by a bunch of fucking morons. They're run by a bunch of morons. WWE has built their company around the Anoa'i family for the last couple years now. And you have pissed off a member of the Anoa'i family. Okay? If they leave, if they end up having like heat with you guys, if the whole Anoa'i family actually leaves WWE, then WWE is fucking screwed. They're fucking screwed. Okay? WWE is no one to blame but themselves. There's no one to blame but themselves. Okay? Oh, this is amazing. This honestly puts a smile on my face because WWE is finally getting what they fucking deserve. They're finally getting what they deserve, bruh. Okay? Like, have you ever seen that movie Joker with Joaquin Phoenix? Like, basically, the line that I heard all day that summarizes this entire situation. You're getting what you fucking deserve. Okay? No sympathy for Vince McMahon. No sympathy whatsoever. Okay? And I'm going to leave it at this. Okay? Sasha Banks and Naomi is so underutilized in WWE. WWE keeps screwing over Naomi time and time and time again. Okay? Their booking of Naomi is so fucking criminal. It's absolutely insane. Okay? Like, she had a good story with Sonya Deville. Okay? Which should have ended at WrestleMania, but no. Like, they just blow it off in a tag team match that made no sense at fucking Elimination Chamber. And then they just ended that storyline altogether. Which means all that buildup was for fucking nothing. And don't even get me started with Sasha Banks, man. Sasha Banks, one of the best female wrestlers on the planet. And I am confident in saying that because she's that fucking good. Sasha Banks is that fucking good. Okay? Like, they haven't been booking her well in these last couple years. Okay? I say the only time was like during the pandemic where she was holding like the women's tag team title and the SmackDown women's title with Bailey, who I believe she was Raw Women's Champion. And like, That I think that's like the only time she felt like she was being booked strongly. What did they do with Sasha Banks since then? What did they do with Sasha Banks since then? Like, my God, man. like, like Sasha Banks and Naomi. Honestly, I hope they leave. I honestly hope they leave. Because let's be real, people. Sasha Banks and Naomi are already famous enough. They don't need WWE anymore. But WWE needs people like Sasha Banks and Naomi. Okay, so if they leave, that would be a big blow to them. Okay, but WWE has no one to blame but themselves. Okay, all this stuff. Sasha and Naomi got sick and tired of Vince McMahon's bullshit. And I'm extremely proud of Sasha Banks and Naomi. I am. I'm really proud of Sasha Banks and Naomi for actually standing up to Vince McMahon and their bullshit creative. And they just took their ball and went home. Okay, I'm proud of them. There should be more Sasha Banks and Naomi, not just in WWE, but in pro wrestling as a whole. Okay? Yeah. Like, I'm extremely proud of Sasha Banks and Naomi. I am completely on their side. 110%. And honestly, I know them. I know that they're still contractually obligated with WWE. And unfortunately, I don't see WWE I don't see WWE releasing them because there's Sasha Banks and Naomi, two of the biggest female stars that they have right now. Like, I honestly don't see that. I honestly don't see WWE releasing those two because, again, one is one of the biggest stars that they have right now, and Naomi is connected to the NOI family. Okay, so them leaving would be a big, big, big loss to WWE. And I'm sure WWE wouldn't do that. Or maybe they will because they're fucking morons. And I know I see the Mercedes and Naomi are all elite. Like, they're going to end up being all elite. Trust me, I would love to see that as well. Sasha Banks versus Thunder Rosa. Naomi versus Serena Deeb. Yo! That's money. That's fucking money, bruh. Okay? But yeah, like, no sympathies for Vince McMahon. Okay? I'm on the side of Sasha Banks and Naomi. 110%. WWE has no one to blame but themselves. And you know what's funny about all this? This story is actually so big now that literally other big news sources are covering this. The New York Post and Sports Illustrated has recently posted this. Yo, it's not looking good for WWE. And WWE has no one to blame but themselves. They're getting what they fucking deserve. So yeah, those are basically my thoughts. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. What do you guys think about this entire Sasha Banks Naomi situation? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. I just really wanted to put my 2 cents into this and make this a whole video because this story was just way too big to like be put as like a separate news source for my AEW Dynamite review. No, this is bigger than that. Okay. So yeah, those are basically my thoughts. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking your time out of your morning to watch this. And until next time, this is Gabriel, and I'll see you next time in the asylum. Have a nice day, everyone.